All right, it is time to do something with all this stuff. Uh, some uh, some scraps collected from the home, 2 bags of greens, a bunch of browns. What to do? All right, guys. So a couple days back, I did a video, which is my second turning of my compost pile, and I mentioned in that video that I had found that this vegetable shop that's down the road has tons of refuse that looks a bit like this. They gave me 2 bags yesterday. So what happened was I went there to just buy something, and my wife asked if we could take some of that those greens that they have stacked outside that they just throw away, and they had recently gotten rid of a bunch of the stuff that's right out front. The lady was like, "We've got all these. Why don't you just take these right now?" And so I couldn't pass that up. So that expedited my plans. So the deal with the compost that is back there is that it is heated up a little bit. I added nitrogen and water to it, and it kind of got some heat going again, but it's not high enough for a hot compost. For a hot compost, it should be so hot that it could potentially, burn your hand or something. Like temperatures like 120, 130, possibly even 140, 150 degrees Fahrenheit. It should get really hot. And in order to do that, it should be about a meter by a meter, or 3 feet by a meter, and also about a meter high. So it has to be this fairly, cubic, including the height, a cubic meter, to really get that heat going, and that's the only way that you're going to get there. So so getting this just dumped on me yesterday in kind of a surprise expedited my plans. So I'm going to get rid of the compost back there. Not get rid of it, but I mean I'm going to incorporate it into this, and I'm going to try to get that something approximately the size of that meter by meter by meter. It's going to be kind of interesting because we're going to find out here if you can invert the Berkeley method. So in the Berkeley method, you're supposed to have a large base, and then it's supposed to conically go up like that. Now, if you look at the shape of these things, they have a narrow base and a wide opening at the top. So we're going to find out if you can do the Berkeley method and have it get narrow as it goes down and wider as it goes up, and whether or not it'll compost. I think that it should basically work the same way, and it essentially should still work. Logically, it still should. So we're going to find out. I think that but if you have something that's the right size, then it's the right size, and you can work with that. So that's basically what we're going to go for, and we're just going to see what happens here. So I have a bunch of chopping of vegetables to do, things like that. Camera's on. You want to come get in the camera? My wife is camera shy. Let me tell you, that was a lot more work than I thought it was going to be, but I got everything all chopped up. It's not much to look at now, but it'll be a lot better when it's a nice compost pile. So my browns look considerably less than my greens, but I've also still got a good amount of browns, and just like stuff that's pretty much just become dirt at this point in the compost that I already have. So I think that all of that will balance it out. And if I go, oh no, I'm going to need more browns, then I'll just get more browns in there. It's just that simple. Okay. All right, guys, I am running out of time and out of light. So let me quickly go over how I want to assemble this compost pile. Okay, so over there, I've got my old compost, which is a mix of greens and browns and dirt and stuff like that. So it's just kind of a general layer that does everything. And then I've got my dried leaves, and I've got my my greens. And so first, the order that I'm going to do it in goes down with some leaves, down with some greens, so that's browns and greens, and then my compost that's going into this. So that's what we're going to do here. And then at each of those stages, you want to put some water. And then at this stage, I'm going to add a few less of those greens, and I'm going to add in my compost from inside the home. Well, actually, that's a pretty gross bag. I'll admit that wasn't inside my house because that would be nasty. These are like old tissues, paper towels, things like that. These are also a perfectly good brown that I can put with the leaves. And in the presence of water, they'll break down really easily. All right, and that is how it's done. I'm pretty much out of light here and out of time, so it's probably time to end this video there because I've got somewhere that I've got to go. So that is the new 18-day compost attempt. That should get a lot hotter and go much better. And so this initial setup here goes 4 days. And then I flip it, and apparently that's the hardest flip. And then it goes every 2 days after that until you're at 18 days, and then you see where you are. And so the way I've got that set up, it should get quite a bit hotter than what I've been getting. The one that I had there on the mat that I did a couple days ago, where I added coffee grounds and stuff like that, it heated up when I had my hands touching it. It heated up more than you would think. Some of that, of course, is the sun, because this is Thailand, and things that have the sun beating on them, of course, get hot. But that would mainly be the exterior, and the interior. When you expose the interior, it wouldn't get as much heat. It would mainly be an exterior thing that would, gradually over a longer period of time make its way to the middle, but not like so fast like that. And so it's the microbes that gave it that heat. Okay, so I think that wraps this one up. Thanks, Space Gardening.